coming down.
Dude, it is. I swear to God, like, there is something wrong with. Like, did we just get, like, one guy to do the entire state this time? Just, like.
I honestly, I think, I think they were just kind of caught with their pants down. Like,
Before the storm, I legit saw, like, the one, like, old pharmacy up near where Randy used to live. Like, it had, like, 10 different trucks just on call before the snow. And it just, like, it's so bad. It's, like, my street is a nightmare. And then, like, my route home from work, it's like, I am not taking any back roads right now because they're a mess in general.
no, me neither.
But literally,
Me neither.
like, my parking
Because
lot
it
is
is
a
such a
mess, and the road that I have to take to get out of work, they did not plow one of the lanes. Like, it's bad.
Dude, it's like, at least it's kind of pretty. I mean, like, as long as like,
Dude.
seeing the ice reflect all the light and stuff is nice.
It is.
It's cool.
I mean, that's why, like, snow is cool in like, Christmas time, because you see all the decorations and shit. But, like,
Yeah.
right now, it's just, like, cold and miserable. And, like, it's like, bro, I am a 20-year-old woman. I need to go to work. Like,
Dude, it's funny because I've been a hater of the cold and the snow for
my entire life.
years. My entire life. Everybody made fun of me for it, and now that we've had like an actually bad winter for the first time in like a decade, now everyone's like, "Oh, I get it." It's like, yeah. It's like yeah, because I guarantee you, every time somebody's like, "Oh, I love the cold, I love the snow," it's because they've never had to work in it, or they've never had to shovel it.
Yep. Dude, like, everyone who's like, "Oh, your favorite season is only summer because, like, when you were a kid, you got off from school." It's like, no, I like summer because when I walk outside, the air doesn't hurt and I don't fall as soon as I move.
Dude, right? Like, you get it's gross out on really hot days, but it doesn't hurt like really cold days.
You want to know what happens if you get really hot, like, out during summer? You take a cold shower. And I know that bathing is an issue for a lot of people because I live in society and I have seen these freaks who go about unwashed. But, like, God, I hate winter.
Tell me about it.
I don't often, like, obviously, just, you know, exaggeratory, all of that. But, like, I think COVID is genuinely, like, there's going to be studies done on the amount of impact that it had to the brain, because I swear people are just, like, actually dumber and worse now.
No, like, I genuinely think it had an effect on people, because, like, I'm slower. Like, full stop.
Yeah, I am worse. Like, I am far worse, personally.
Things I used to not have to think about, I have to stop myself and, like, think it all over.
Yep. Like, it is so much more difficult to do most things. But I swear, like, after, like, 24-hour businesses stopped existing, just, like, people, like, just lost, like, a basic respect for like, the fellow human.
Yeah.
Like, okay. It's like, weed is legal in this state, you know? It's like, I know people who smoke, I have family members who smoke.
Everybody is always...
There is so much fucking cigarette smoke and fucking, like... cigarette smoke and weed smoke. It's like, anytime I'm in work, like, every single day, there will be at least one person who smells like... And I'm not even talking, like, quality shit. I'm talking, like, the shit that people would have on, like, the bus in middle school. Like... like,
just the cheapest strain of weed money could buy.
Like, literally, like, proper, like... It's the type of skunk weed that is like half of that shit is pine needles, bro. Like, it stems at the best part of it. Like, it's bad. I'm just like, obviously, I don't mind, but it's like, bro, you need to drive everywhere in America. You are, like, inebriated. Like, it's one thing if it's just like, oh, okay, like, you have, like, a gummy or something to just, like, calm you down. That's fine, you know? It's like, at that point, like, it's at a medicinal level where you're like, yeah, it's just treatment for, like, pain or anxiety or whatever. That's fine. If you come in smelling like that, I know for a fact that that is not, like, you're not just, like, managing a little bit of pain. What you're doing there is you're in your car and your car has a noxious green cloud. And it's just like, bro, no. And the more unpopular one, in my opinion, like, I have complained about this before, and I know a lot of people love this now, just like, you can't just be bringing your dogs everywhere, man. Like,
dude,
that is a genuine problem.
I cannot believe that. Like, it's one thing, okay, not that I agree with it anyway, but, like, it's one thing when it's, like, I don't know, fucking Home Depot or some shit, but, like,
yeah.
A grocery store or a supermarket?
Yeah, no, you cannot bring them to a fucking supermarket where there's food! Dude, like...
What are we doing?
Like, people have allergies, you fucking imbeciles!
And then it's like fucking, oh my god. And then, you know, if they have a small dog, they'll put it in the fucking cart. It's like, dude.
Yeah, no.
Ew.
And it's just like, so many of these things, it's just like, we have had customers at our store who, like, bring in dogs, and it's just like, they're never service dogs. Like, if it was service dogs, that would be fine. Like, I do not give a shit. Even if you were, like, faking that shit and you just had the vest, I'd at least feel slightly better about it. I'd be just like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna question that. And it's just like, some dogs have legit just, like, shit in the middle of the building, and it's just like, dude.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like, what am I supposed to do, you know?
Yeah, it's like, this is not part of our fucking job. You have done this. Like, it's a complete fucking nightmare. It's like, I've seen, like, the viral videos now of, like, it was cute the first time of, like, a girl was like, I don't know how to bond with my male cat, so I've brought him to Home Depot. And it's like, yeah, it's funny the first time. And then the copycats happen. And dear fucking lord, we don't need animals in every part of our lives. Like, it's one thing if it's like, we have had strays in the building. That's normal. Like, we live in a developed society. That just ends up happening. Like, we can't complain about that shit. If you are willingly bringing an animal into a store, why? Like, the only place it makes sense is, like, fucking Petco.
It makes, like, no sense to me at all.
Like,
also, like,
I understand that there are less places to, like, take your dogs to, like, walk or whatever, like, we don't have parks anymore. But, like, dog parks actually exist. Like, specifically. Like, you could go to those. Like, I don't get it. It's so stupid. And it's the worst, especially if it's, like, a loud frickin' dog that will not stop and is disrupting people at work and the customers. It's just like, dog, there are frickin' kids around. Like, like, you can't be having a frickin' dog out, like, on a completely, like, slack leash, just fucking screaming when there were just, like, children. And we have a lot of elderly people come in, actually, like, surprisingly, because, you know, like, people need stuff like light bulbs and shit, so it's just like, dude, we don't want people to get attacked by your fucking stupid dog here. And of course, it's just like, it's less of an issue at our store, because we only have, like, pre-packaged, like, snacks or whatever, but, like, supermarkets and shit, that's inexcusable to me. You leave your dogs at fucking home. Like, even if you need to go to, like, Petco or the vet, you do that in 2 fucking trips. Alright? Like...
Yeah, right. And also, it's like, if your dog always has to be around you, like...
That is a problem, and you should wean your dog off of that behavior.
Yeah,
because that is incredibly bad for both you and them.
There's just, I think there's just, like, a general, like, entitlement to people now. That just blows my mind.
Like, was all this happening before, and it's just, like, you and I just were always on, like, the 24-hour, like, Walmart streak of, like, we would only go to Walmart at, like, 2 a.m.? Is that our problem?
I don't know, but...
I swear to God, people have gotten so much worse as, like, customers, too. Like...
Yeah,
it's especially bad if you're, like, in, like, food industry or, like, any sort of customer service. Like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with customers that often, but dear Lord, like... At the beginning of, like, the pandemic, when I was first being employed, it was not as bad. Like...
No. I mean, a lot of the thoughts in the beginning of the pandemic, there were just less people out and about.
Yep. But, like, I swear, as soon as people started being told no in public, they just became the most entitled people on Earth. And it's fucking ridiculous.
Show you no mercy.
Like, it's okay to be told no.
Yeah. Like, there is... You know, because I work at a hardware store, you know, we had a whole influx of people. It's like, because of the winter storm, they're like, we need to panic buy all of this rock salt. You know, fair enough. Everyone needs rock salt. We sold out in, like, a day. And we only get, we get shipments on, like, I think it's, 3 days a week, with days in between. And... And, like, very rarely we'll get occasional, like, extra shipments in between. And, like, because of that, it's like, we sold out on Friday, we do not get trucks in on the weekend. So, like, come Monday when I'm working, like, before the truck arrives to, like, bring more stuff, the amount of people who were just, like, actively furious at random people that are working at our location, like, just because we do not have the rock salt that everyone panic bought. Like, people were throwing shit, dude. Like, it was bad.
Dude, people are acting like we've never had a storm, ever.
My dad went to Walmart on Thursday, and he came home with the look of, like, a war veteran in his eyes, and he said, I just watched 2 women fist fight over a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And he was like, the thing is, it's like, it wasn't even the last loaf. They were still bringing out pallets of bread. Like, I hate people, bro.
It's crazy. Like, it's not like we're in some like place that never gets snow or never gets like below freezing temperatures. You know?
Yeah. Like, apparently this has never happened once in our entire lives. Like, objectively speaking, we have had worse winter storms even in, like, our lifetime. Like, we were younger, yeah, but, like...
Let alone, you know, like, adults who were there. There was, like, that really bad blizzard, I think, in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Like, y'all lived through that, but, like, this is too much?
Because boomers don't have object permanence. But honest to God, I've been seeing a lot of shit from millennials, especially lately.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, a lot of these people are becoming their parents, and not in any sort of, like, good way.
I am very curious to see how Gen Alpha turns out.
Probably poorly. Like, we, as a whole, are probably going to turn out poorly as well, because both Gen Z and Gen Alpha have never had a single time where we have had a functional, like, stable economy. We have lived in a recession our entire lives. And Gen Alpha has it worse than us with, like... There was a short period where Gen Z could have, like... Early Gen Z, like, I don't know, is that, like, 98 or whatever? Where, like... You know, like, you had the potential to get a job. You had the potential to, like, start having a career. Like, no matter, like, how, like, little it was, you had a small window of opportunity. Mm-hmm. And then, like, everything went away. Like, Gen Z, like, we went through all this stuff, but we were a little bit older. Gen Alpha, you know, they're post 9/11, they're post Great Recession, they're post COVID, their high school, like, all of their schooling is online. Like, they are being hounded by social media algorithms. There's no websites designed for kids to, like, have fun and be safe on. Like, there's nothing. Like, they are slaves to an algorithm, and they are just, like, living in one of the worst economies that the US has ever had, and there's literally nothing for them as, like, young, like, children or into their teenage years, and nothing for them when they eventually reach young adulthood. Like, like, it not to doomer post, but, like, yeah, no, they are not gonna have a good time. Like, I think that any amount of complaining that they have is going to be entirely justified. Just like I think any complaining we have is entirely justified. Like, like, the millennials and Gen X had, like, the last potential, like, for having careers. Like, obviously, it was a lot easier for Gen X and baby boomers. But, like, and millennials still had a chance if, like, they worked, like, twice as hard as their parents did. But it's like, there is literally no chance now. If you, like, we're done. You and me, we're fucked. We're fucked forever.
I'm built different. I'll figure out a way.
Yeah, it's called substance abuse.
What do you think the caffeine is, buddy?
Exactly. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like all Gen Alpha has is deregulated substance abuse. God, remember that short period where vapes were not, like, they weren't part of, like, any sort of, like, illegality? So there were kids in, like, our middle school, and, like, I think even when we were in, like, 4th grade, like there were kids that had vapes
because
it was
it's crazy how
legal.
normalized that was.
Yeah,
I mean,
like I completely normal.
I mean, I can't speak for where you went to school, but where I went to school, I mean, substance abuse, it was like an actual legit...
rampant? Yeah. No, we
Yeah, with everything.
We lost access to one of the bathrooms permanently.
Oh, yikes.
Multiple reasons for that, but it's always funny to me because people got high and drunk in a bathroom and someone was cheating on someone and there was a sink ripped off the wall.
Yikes.
Luckily, that was right before COVID, so we didn't need to use that bathroom anyway. This was before the brain fog set in. We had drug-sniffing dogs come into our school a couple times.
Same. See,
and
one of them was meant to be a
before our
drill.
school trip, to go to another state, like, they had drug-sniffing dogs check all the bags. And what I will say is, those dogs did a very poor job. That's all I gotta say.
One time it was meant to be a drill. Well, you know, they brought it in just in case, and then they found so much shit that, like, it was the day of our tech rehearsal for the winter concert.
Mm-hmm.
And I was stuck in our school's auditorium, like, all day. Because the dogs ended up finding a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And
the dog that they brought in for us was apparently not a narc.
That dog's a homie.
That dog let people get high on a trip. God, yeah, no, it was... To be fair, for Gen Alpha, I don't know if there's anything left but substance abuse, let's be honest. I mean, like, what else you got? You got Fortnite and substance abuse, man. That's all we got nowadays.
Yeah. Nah, we'll be alright, though.
We'll be fine.
I miss him.
Listen.
The early to mid-20s are always a weird time.
Yep.
And then we'll come out of it okay.
Yeah, I think it's all gonna be chill. We're gonna be fine. Nothing ever happens.
In other news, I finally got new glasses for the first time in like a decade, so I can see again.
That's good. You should get those like every 2 years.
Yeah. You think so, right?
Yeah, do you need me to rant to you about how you need to put your retainer in right fucking now, kid?
Dude, that's a lost cause.
All those years in braces and you fucked it up in a week, Ryan.
Again. Dude, I remember being so mad at myself too, because when I found them, it was just like in this random spot, and I was so mad at myself because it was such an easy spot to see. But it was one of those things where it's like my brain kind of just glossed over it. Like every time I checked that spot, it wouldn't be there.
Yeah, no, I get that.
One day.
You still should have like tried to go to the dentist and get a replacement, though.
Yeah, but oh well.
Yeah, it's just your teeth.
It's just my teeth. I don't give a shit.
Just your teeth, you know, the thing that like have direct connection to your nerves and can cause like a bunch of fucking diseases if you don't take care of.
Isn't it crazy how much stuff we've discovered in the past couple of years that like are directly linked to your oral health?
Yeah, no, you gotta take care of your fucking teeth, bro. Those dinosaurs that you saw in Nickelodeon cartoons weren't joking. You need to brush your teeth, bro.
Mm-hmm. No, I take care of my teeth.
You remember those commercials, right?
Yup.
I'm glad that that was real and not something that I made up in like a drug-addled state. I remember like one time they were making fun of the grandpa dinosaur because that man lost all his teeth in the war or something.
It's like, man, what do you gotta do him like that?
Like, man, he didn't know. They didn't invent toothpaste until 1902 or whatever. Like, what the fuck was he supposed to do? Nibbling on tree bark. That is actually how people used to brush their teeth, though. You would straight up gnaw on bark. Why was it? I mean, I guess it's stuck in my head for the past 2 decades. I've never understood why it was dinosaurs, but you know, effective marketing, I guess. Oh my god, you know what? That just reminded me of something that's actually really, like, fucked up. It's been in my house for, like, longer than I have been alive, probably. But, my parents in their room have a jar of Vaseline. Because, you know, you need that shit. You should always have Vaseline in the house. But what's fucked up is it's a fucking Land Before Time, like, cross-promotion. I'm just like,
How?
like, that is the one thing that probably shouldn't be. Because, like, that is made out of dinosaurs. And it's additionally fucked up because the dinosaur that's on the one that we have is the one who got murdered. I've also, like, I've looked this up. Like, I looked this up last year because I was like, you know, that's really weird. And it's like, there's one image on the internet of this. And I was just like, well, I took a picture of mine because it was a different, like, dinosaur. And I was like, damn. So this shit is from the 90s and also is not documented and is also in incredibly poor taste. You know all your favorite dinosaurs from the Land Before Time? This is the slime that they got turned into after being hit by a meteor.
Dude, I can't remember the last time I watched The Land Before Time.
I can Dude, for me it was... I was gonna say preschool, but then I remembered I went to a Christian preschool, so probably not then. Because Christians don't believe in dinosaurs. Dude, like... I've been thinking about this lately. I think you and I went to the same, like, Christian, like, night school or whatever. I think some of the shit they had us watch was straight up cult shit. Right?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really remember a lot of it.
Yeah, it's all very weird. Like... The thing with like almost all Christian media, especially the stuff that's made for children, it's usually made by a cult, number one. Number two, it's always like so low budget that like even when it's not made by a cult, you're like...
It
has the vibe. It has the vibe of something that was produced in-house for a cult.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't really remember much. All I remember was thinking some of the girls were cute, and then when it came time for confirmation, being like super sick, so I was like miserable and out of it the whole fucking time.
Dude, I was any one of like those rituals we did, like I was miserable the entire time because it was just like it took like hours to get to your turn, and then it's just like it takes, like, less than 2 seconds.
The classes were kind of okay.
Yeah, like, the classes themselves were, like, whatever.
I was always lucky to get like the chill ones though.
Yeah.
Like
we were always in
green.
like the same ones, so we were kind of just like talking about Pokemon there.
Yeah, and then it's
I
like, and then
remember
we
the one
gave
time
you.
you brought in your brand new 3DS and were showing me, it's like, dude, this shit got the Mii Maker on it.
Dude, I remember as a kid, I was like,
Like, that
oh,
was legit.
it's
I was like,
portable.
holy shit.
Dude, right? Because as a kid, I was like, oh, it's like a portable Wii.
Dude,
You
like,
know?
exactly. That is exactly what was going through my head. I was like, there's no fucking way.
Dude, and then I remember downloading the Resident Evil Revelations demo, and I was like, wait a minute, this could be more like an Xbox 360. Dude, the way that game looks
He's
when you see it,
insane.
dude, because like you go and look at it running on like a Switch or like a PS4 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not up to that standard, but like then you go back and look at it running on a 3DS. They
Yeah.
didn't touch they didn't touch the game at all for the other ports.
Nope.
It's literally just running at a higher resolution. All the material work and lighting and everything is the exact same, and it is crazy when you see it running on like its original hardware.
Yeah, like, even,
All
like...
the all the crazy shader work the 3DS could do carried so much weight for that thing.
It's like, it is so good. It's like, that shit looks as good on the 3DS as it does on the Vita, as it does on the Wii U, as it does on PC. It is literally just like, it is genuinely just, okay, you have a bigger screen and higher visual fidelity because of it.
Yeah. Like the perceived fidelity is higher because of the higher resolution, but
Yep.
like you go back onto the 3DS and it's like it's literally just the same game, the same graphic settings and everything just running at like 240p.
Yep. I think it was above 240, wasn't it?
It was like some weird thing cuz then it was like for
Yeah.
the when you had the
Especially
3D
because it
on,
had like the 3D display and how it's
and the
like two
3D
displays in one.
I think natively it was like flat out 240p, and then I think when you had the 3D on, it like basically like doubled the horizontal resolution of it. So it was some
Yeah.
weird, but it was always kind of nice because then it's like it felt like a because some of the 3DS games were crunchy as fuck.
Yeah.
And then you turn the 3D on was almost like a natural like anti-aliasing slider. Because then you turn the 3D on, and it was like everything was smooth and looked really good. One game, like I honestly played with the 3D on that a lot because almost every game just flat out looked better.
Yeah, it did for a while at least, like especially like during the launch of the 3DS when they were like really making like a bunch of use out of it, like
Mm-hmm.
that they put so much effort into that shit and then just like they didn't.
What's funny is my favorite use of 3D isn't even a Nintendo game. It was all the 3DS entries for Etrian Odyssey. It was like for whatever reason that super like anime like visual style and it being like a
Mm-hmm.
dungeon crawler. Then you turn the 3D on and it just looks like really nice because all the like because of how the
This is going to sound insane. My
'cause of, like, the clarity
favorite,
bar. Mhm.
my favorite use of the 3D on any game was Shovel Knight, just because it gave the background so much depth. Like the
That's why I liked it
3DS
with-
is the
that's why I
platform
liked
that
it with,
Shovel Knight looks the best on, and it's insane.
That's why Etrian Odyssey is my favorite usage because it was like because at their core they're basically remastered DS games outside of the new ones.
Yeah.
So it's just you have really nice you have way better sprite work and some 3D model stuff in battles, but in the dungeon crawling it's mostly like pretty high fidelity 2D sprites, and then you turn the 3D on and the crunchiness of the 2D from it being low res kind of disappears because it's smoothed out, and then all the depth that it adds gives it like a perceived like higher fidelity than it actually was.
Yeah.
It was crazy because it gave all these 2D elements like a sense of depth. so it was like it almost had like similar density to like an Xbox 360 game, like in terms of assets.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of a sudden, all these 2D assets and games now almost had like the depths of like a three-dimensional game.
Yup. It's weird. It's like the best way to describe how a lot of like those 2D 3DS games looked. It reminds me a lot of like old like point and click adventure games on PC, but like at their highest settings. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It's a you don't see point and click games anymore, and that's a damn shame.
No, you don't.
Like that is like a dead genre, and it's such a shame because those games are so fucking good.
I mean, because their niche has basically been usurped by like visual novels and like less of the Telltale style narrative games. Nowadays, there's just Dispatch, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, but Telltale does not exist anymore.
It's a shame because I guess
they made like cool shit, and I appreciated the fact that they existed in the way that they did.
I guess the closest thing to a point and click game would be Ace Attorney or like Danganronpa and how the investigation.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably like the closest. I'd never even thought about it like that, but yeah, I think you're right.
I enjoy the Danganronpa games in spite of how badly written they are. Like, if you think about it for even a second, they are awful.
Oh yeah.
But like, I'd say yeah, sure. Let me investigate these murder mystery sites.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for anything like that. Like, a lot of like the early previews for the new for the new Resident Evil, Grace is like an FBI agent.
Yeah.
So it's like they have her, so like they expanded the crafting, so it's like she uses and like analyzes blood in a lab. Like you can craft like the crafting system. I forget who, somebody who played the previews let it slip that the blood isn't just for like bullets and healing, but you could actually go as Grace, go into like labs and analyze the blood and use it for like permanent upgrades. And I'm like, dude, anything like that, I'm like a sucker for.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything where it's like, oh, if I'm like an FBI agent, even or like investigating something, I gotta like analyze stuff. It's like, oh, I'm into that because it gives me a reason beyond like superficial, like, oh yeah, I just want to know the lore. It gives you reason to engage with things, you know, like
yeah,
I'm actually really like. Initially, I was hyped for Requiem because I was like, oh, you know, it's a new Resident Evil. And then it was, oh, Leon's going to be coming back. So it'll be like a second installment of 4 Remake. And I really liked 4 Remake. And now, honestly, the part I'm most excited about is actually Grace's side of the story. Because It's basically like, because it's just an expanded version of like the old Resident Evil formula, right? Like how you would... You know, it's like, okay, so it's either I run past the zombies, pop them in the kneecaps to give myself an opening to run by, or I just kill them if I come back to this place often, so they're not a problem anymore, right? But now it's like, well, Grace is weaker, or at least starts off weaker. We all know how the game's... We all know the game's going to end with her loaded up to the guilds with weapons and ammo, and she's gonna go full Rambo by the end of the game. But you know, but it's like, you know, starting off, it's like, oh, she's weaker than most other Resident Evil protagonists, and she's given less ammo, and it's like, and the zombies are, you know, they're more dynamic. You know, they're not just like standing around and then they chase you. It's like now it's like they have personalities, so they do different things. And it's like, oh, but, you know, even though you don't have a lot of ammo, you know, because they drop all this blood and stuff, you have a reason to kill them, you know, because there's an incentive, you know. So it's like the Resident Evil game I always kind of wanted them to make, because I think part of the reason, you know how every Resident Evil game has, like, that part where, like, the fatigue starts to set in?
Yes.
I think, honestly, a lot of it is because there's just not enough variety, because the zombies are fundamentally all the same, and
Yeah.
you're doing the same thing for a while. It's like, for me, it's like the fatigue spots are always like the sewers in RE2, both the original and the remake. And then for both 4 and the remake, it's always the island, because it's like it's constant action, and then by the end, you're like, all right, it's been like, because 4 and 4 remake for Resident Evil games are fucking long, so it's like all right, I've been doing nothing but constant fighting and the same thing over and over again for 15 hours. I just need this to end.
Yeah.
And I think just having an actual variety in actual enemy variety and encounter design, because the enemies have actual distinct personalities and will actually do different things. I think between that and having you swap between the two different play styles, I think will go a long way to alleviate that, because honestly, I've never really liked that the two playable characters have always been different playthroughs, because they're really not that different. You get different weapons and their stories are different, but fundamentally they are the same game. So it just feels like you're playing the game but again. And it's weird, right? I'm always weird about stuff like that, where it's like, if I want to replay the game on my own, I'm totally fine with it. Whereas if the game mandates I do what's effectively a second run, because there's different stuff, but there's not enough different stuff that it just feels like I'm doing a second run, then the fatigue feeling feels worse than if it was just straight up the same thing and I decided to play it again. I don't know. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, I get it. I get what you mean entirely.
And then whereas now it's like, oh, in 9, you're going back and forth, and it's like the game is being designed with that in mind, and it's like, well, then they can, and I think that's good for 2 reasons, because it's like they can go all in on each gameplay aspect, because
and it's different campaigns, and it's not just essentially just wearing a different skin and doing the same shit. Let's be honest.
Because they can really, because everyone is like, oh, they're just trying to please everybody. I don't think so. Because to me, the more I see of the game and the more interviews I read, it feels like the contrast between the two styles is the whole point. It's not like trying to be a crowd pleaser or anything. It's trying to use those two halves of modern Resident Evil to enhance the other. And I think it honestly, I don't think it stems from trying to please everybody. I think it stems from them honestly looking at what the long-standing issues have been with the games and being like, all right, how do we alleviate this?
Yeah, I think also that's it. Also, bro, take a breath. I genuinely don't know when you breathed in the past 10 minutes. That just kept going.
Yeah, I know, sorry.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah, my
I started worrying at a certain point. I'm are you okay?
No, I'm good. But also, I feel like a lot of it, too, is they'll be able to play with the structure a little bit, too. Because now it's they're not necessarily beholden to the typical loop of well, it starts off scary and then it gets a little scarier because even though you're better equipped, you have a dude
you got more stuff after you're getting further into this stuff, and then at the end nothing matters and you're fine.
Yeah, honestly, I wonder if they'll kind of have Grace be typical Resident Evil with the ramp up, and then
Leon is on fucking Resident Evil 5 shit the entire time.
Yeah, or because Leon, people think Leon's infected because he's got some big mark on his on his neck. So I'm wondering, because as they ramp Grace up, if they'll like fuck with Leon more.
No, they won't. Like I understand like how cool of a storytelling thing that could be, but you have to remember this is the same studio that made it so that Jill Valentine will never age because of her immunity to the virus. They do not like changing status quo. There is one thing that changes in Resident Evil, and that is the design of Chris Redfield.
Dude, I learned the other day that the model for 7 and 8, like the actual like real life model they use, are the same person.
That's not true.
They just totally botched like the actual like in-game model work for 7 Chris. My theory is I think 7 was meant to be like sort of a soft reboot, and then everybody, and then when everybody hated like the stuff they did with Chris, they were like, "All right, we'll just yeah."
I think 7 is like one of the best Resident Evil games. Unironically, I appreciate 7 because it 7 does the thing that I like about the Silent Hill franchise, which is it is like Silent Hill. Pretty much every game, like especially like the later ones, just tried being something entirely different.
Yeah. Silent Hill is weird to me because it's more like fucked up than Resident Evil, but I don't find it scarier. I find it far more interesting as like a piece of art.
Yes.
But they are so generous with resources in Silent Hill that they're basically like at their core, they're basically adventure games, not like
Silent Hills. It's like the Silent Hill games are so much like designed around like the classic adventure game archetypes, and I kind of love that.
I kind of love it because
I think I prefer Silent Hill specifically because like Silent Hill isn't just like, oh, you're in a scary location, like all these different enemies, and it's like like a whole bunch of people have made like the joke of like, oh, you're dead the entire time, and it's like it's all in your brain because this is your own personal hell. But I like how they don't just use that of making like one's place that everyone visits. It's like Silent Hill is a living and growing city and place that is different from person to person, built entirely off of their own traumas and like fears and regrets.
And that's why, honestly,
and that is why it is so good. It's like, and the environmental design is so good. Like,
and honestly, that's also why I don't mind them with the new games being like, it's not like a specific place. Like, it's not like I like them kind of toying with it not being stuck in like Appalachia in the US, right?
Because Silent Hill isn't one place; it's in everyone essentially.
I gotta play F at one point. I've heard I've heard the combat's a little clunky.
Oh no! A Silent Hill game where the combat is clunky. This has never happened before in the history of ever.
Yeah, I mean I get it, but I think a lot of it is also because the combat is a bigger component in this game versus like, I guess the quote unquote mainline ones. That it's like more of a hindrance here, but like. Truthfully, if I really hate the combat that much, I'll just toss it on easy mode, bro. Like,
yeah.
It is very easy to fix complaints about video games.
Yeah.
But, it's like, oh no, the combat is tedious. Well, let me just put it on the easy mode difficulty that changes nothing except the combat.
Yep.
Like, so I have to deal with it less. Like, I get it. Like, is it like an objective problem if the combat sucks when it's a more combat-focused game? Yeah. But, like, I don't require much out of my video game combat unless it's like a character action game or like a shooter.
Yeah.
right?
Unless the
Where
entire point of the game is the combat, it's not a big deal.
it's just like, to me, honestly, game feel is like the most important thing to me more than anything. It's like, which is why, again, not to keep blabbering on about the new Resident Evil, but it's like they explicitly said, they were like, well, we made it a point to make gunplay feel really good in this game, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because like that's always been my one gripe with like the modern Resident Evils, is like the gunplay's always felt kind of weird. Like 7 and 2 remake feel pretty good in terms of like impact or in terms of aiming, but like the actual impact is kind of weird. And then like Village and 4 remake feel a lot better in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But then the aiming is kind of weird with them. Like there's a weird floatiness to like Village and onward that I'm not a fan of. That they seem to be fixing with 9, and I hope that's the bar going forward. Because like, hot take, I guess, and I feel this way about even like games like Metroid Prime, but like I don't care if your game is primarily like an adventure game or a game about exploring. If it is a first person, if your way of interacting with everything in the game is by shooting everything, then shooting should feel good.
Yes.
Like, and it's weird, right? Because it's like systems can be very well designed and still feel like ass. Like I think like my go-to example with that is like the first Xenoblade game. Like it's combat is really well designed. Like there's a it's simple compared to later entries and all the shit they've got going on there. But I think it's well designed. The problem is you actually interacting with that combat sucks because there's no weight to the animations, and it just feels like you're slapping like a pillow until the enemy health bar goes down. And it's like subtle changes and improvements to stuff like game feel, I think, are actually what dates a game more than anything. I think because you boot up, like, to stick with the Xenoblade example, you boot up like Xenoblade 3, right? And the auto attack animations feel impactful. When you use a big high damage art, right, you feel it. Like it feels like you're actually like fighting and hitting something. Whereas in the first game, you go back to it and it's just like weightless and you feel like nothing. And I think that dates it. I think that dates it more than like the shitty side quests or anything. You know, because it's like that's real. Because I feel like that's the big differentiator between older games and newer ones. Now that they've kind of like fundamentally been the same for as long as they have been, I think just how polished and how good games feel like to play is like the main difference. Because that stuff has been like little improvements and refinements over time that over the course of the past 20 years since like the Xbox 360 PS3 gen that have really added up.
Yeah, no, I 100%. I do want to circle back to the Silent Hill people complaining about the location again, just because like that is genuinely like the most tourist shit imaginable. Because the fact is, it's like, oh, Silent Hill always took place in Appalachia or whatever. It's like, yeah, sure, like I guess. But the fact is, the entire aesthetic and design of the environments have themes that are dictated entirely by the character you are playing as.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because James is so consumed by his guilt and held down by it, his version of Silent Hill is full of chains. Because Cheryl/Heather is so consumed by what happened to her, it comes out fleshy and like as masses of just like meat and pulsating and throbbing shit. Like it is not the environment is not what matters. It's the aesthetic changes even if the environment doesn't. Like it is such tourist shit.
I think honestly, it's people who have played Silent Hill 2 or have watched the Let's Play of Silent Hill 2 and have not played the other ones.
Yeah. Silent Hill 2 isn't even the best one. I don't know why that's the one that people always go to.
It's funny because, I mean, and that's not even like a revisionist take. Back when it came out, there were reviews and complaints saying it was worse than the first game. Like, it was like, oh, like, the themes and, you know, the story is better and way more ambitious, but the actual game is a little worse. You know, those were common takes back when the game came out.
And, like, the thing is just, like, the first 4 Silent Hill games I can say are pretty much, like, perfect. Like, those are phenomenal survival horror games, and they do exactly what they want to do. I don't think there's any reason to put any of them over each other other than just personal opinion.
Like, yeah, other than preference. Like, what character did you connect with the most? What aesthetic of Silent Hill do you vibe with? You know, it's like...
Yep.
I'd like to get my hands on the remake one. It's not a priority, but I feel like... Because my only perception of the remake is from, like, traditionalists who hold the original 2 above literally anything else that exists. So there's always going to be, like, an inherent, like, bias there.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of experience it for myself as somebody who's very much kind of a casual, like, Silent Hill fan.
I'd say personally Silent Hill 3 is the best one, but play any of them. Like, any of the first 4 are phenomenal. And then when you get into the dregs, you will find things that you love, but you gotta search deep. You gotta dig into that. You know, for every you know, like, fantastic, like, Silent Hill Shattered Memories, you get a Silent Hill Homecoming.
Yeah. Dude, also, isn't it crazy how well Silent Hill 3 is aged, considering the system it came out on?
That game looks insanely good. Like, I always forget that's a PS1 game and not a PS2 game.
Is it a PS1 game? I could have sworn it was a PS2 game.
Wait, is it? It's 2003, right? It's PS1, isn't it?
No, I think it's just PS2. Let me check.
If it is PS2, it still looks phenomenal for the PS2.
Yeah, no, that was.
But the PS2,
it's like even for
the PS2 can do some fucking insane shit.
You know, it was PS2 and Windows.
Ah.
But like it
looks like it could have been a PS3 game. It's very in the Shadow of the Colossus vein with that one.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy how Silent Hill 3 and Resident Evil 4 look like a cut above almost every game from that generation?
With one notable exception. But yes.
And what is that notable exception?
Half-Life 2, which still looks better than most games today.
That's true. I forgot about Half-Life 2.
I don't know what deal with the devil Valve made that made a game designed in 2004 still have facial animations and graphical fidelity on par with stuff that had come out, like, this year. Like, genuinely, like,
I think the animations
they only started getting better in, like, fucking Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I think the facial animations are the most impressive part.
Yeah, for real.
Because it's like the lighting, like, yeah, like, the lighting is baked, so, like, it's always going to look good, because it's basically ray trace Ray traced
Ray
lighting.
traced Rite Aid, my new indie horror experience.
It's
You will have to survive
lighting,
in the Rite Aid with the blaring lights that are constantly emitting a high frequency hum.
It's like I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think their baked lighting is with light maps, so it's like all kind of baked into the texture itself. It's not like probes where they're adjusting.
Yeah, I think so.
RGB, which is also, which I think is why Alex looks so good. Even Alex looks insane. Although I get annoyed when people say that should be the benchmark for modern games, because it's like, that game is not very big, it is not very long, and yet the storage requirements for it are insane because the lighting detail is so massive. It's like, the only way you're getting that in a game that is bigger than that is legit with ray tracing, because otherwise,
yeah,
everything would have to be cut up with loading screens, and the game would have to be like a terabyte or bigger, and the game would take an eternity to load just with how long the actual baking process would take.
Yeah.
But it's like Half-Life 2 though, legit still, like, the lighting, if you know where to look, you can tell its age, but like the animation work is crazy for that game.
Yeah,
granted,
which is incredible because of how much animation was done last minute as replacements. Yeah. Now, it is insane that there is a completely different Half-Life 2 from a year prior.
Mm-hmm. And granted, it was built for PC first, so it is kind of playing by different rules.
It came out on the fucking original Xbox, and yeah, it looks amazing.
Now, granted, it's not without its warts on console, but
the main issue is just loading times. That is genuinely the one issue. I'm not even gonna lie. As someone who's played through that game, one day I was bored and decided the best use of my time was to play through the entirety of Half-Life 2 on the original Xbox. That was a good use of my time during COVID. I was doing that while watching Gordon Ramsay. That was literally what I was doing. But to be fair, I think that was one day. I think that I was in a mood to like use my Xbox, so I was like, I played through Half-Life 2, Battle for Bikini Bottom, Halo Combat Evolved. Like, COVID was invented by Microsoft for me to play games from 2005. That funny, they did not get any money for because it was all bought secondhand.
You know what's funny, actually, speaking of Xbox, is because you know how Halo 2 was like downgraded?
Yes,
in
heavily.
Scope and fidelity?
Yes.
So somebody found a mod found the original files.
Yeah, they did. They rebuilt like the original E3 like tech demo essentially from the files, and they had like the original developers working on the team to help them do it.
Not just that, but they restored all the original like lighting and material work, and it's just straight up Halo 3.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is that Halo 2 originally had it would have been the first game to have like a dedicated sprint button, and they didn't include that. But like you can still like mod the game and add it back in, and some of the all of the animation work is still there for all of the weapons. But it gets really funny with the because you can dual wield in Halo 2. It's like a major feature. You want to know what happens when you try to sprint and dual wield? Master Chief's hands just drop both of the guns and flip off the player because it's just like, this doesn't make sense. How are you doing this? It was clearly left in as like a placeholder essentially from some developer. I think I remember the story being like, yeah, I remember working on that one day, and I remember I put that in because we found out the sprint mechanic was being scrapped, so I decided to waste everyone's time.
Man, Prime Halo was so good.
God, I fucking love Halo Reach.
I think what's funny too is like I feel like if they got their shit together, Halo would be like just as relevant now.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get the big beefy single player campaign, and you get multiplayer, which you can either do competitive or you can do crazy like sandbox stuff. It's like
There was a thing back in the day, like a huge part of the Halo community was trick jumping, where like you had teams compete not in like shooting each other, it was creating like the most insane like clips and jumps essentially by exploiting the physics engine. It's just like it had the movement tech that everyone wanted and desired. Even without a sprint button.
Like literally, if
and they made an ARG out of it, which is always fun.
It's like, how do you fumble that IP? I don't understand.
343.
And it's a shame because Infinite is like the best Halo. Well, I mean, a lot of people.
You know my opinions. I will say nothing.
A lot of people liked Halo 5 and how its multiplayer played. I didn't. I didn't. At the risk of being a curmudgeon, it didn't really feel like Halo to me. Infinite, for all of its faults,
does not feel like Halo at all, in my opinion, but
I think it does. It's like, it just didn't have enough content.
I'm gonna be honest, personally, I think the last time that Halo felt like Halo was Halo 4. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know how 5 is literally just the same as 4 again, but it is somehow worse.
4 is interesting. I'd have to go back to it.
I like 4. The issue with 4 is there's a part in the campaign that's complete and utter dog shit. And it takes, like, days to figure out where the fuck you're supposed to go. And it's just like...
And also, like, fighting the Prometheans is awful.
Yeah,
and the weapon... Bullet sponges.
They're bullet sponges, and if you run out of UNSC ammo, you're fucked because their weapons do less damage to themselves. And it's the only shit you're going to have.
Like, I don't know, like...
But the multiplayer was slick as hell.
Like, technical masterpiece. The way that game looks on the hardware it's running on...
That should be an Xbox One game. To this day, I don't understand why it is on the Xbox 360. But there are several games that I do not understand why we're on the Xbox 360.
I mean, I understand, like, you can kind of see the cutbacks and, like, texture work. And
the fact it's 30 FPS instead of 60 like Reach was.
Reach wasn't 60.
Was it
every Halo game was 30.
Halo 4 run at a lower frame rate, though?
No, I think every Halo was 30 on console.
Huh. I guess I'm misremembering then. That one's on me.
I also, that does support my hot take, though, that I think games that are designed to run and feel good at 30 on target hardware feel better at low frame rates than games that are designed to run at 60
and
but run at 30 as a concession on, like, lower end hardware.
Yeah. Because it was designed to run at that instead of being scaled back. It's the same reason why, like, this is gonna be hot take as hell. Old pixel art looks better than new pixel art because old pixel art was using the technology at the time to full advantage of the fact that they used the limitations as a bonus with how CRTs displayed shit. So it wasn't so even though, like, all of this is like crisp or whatever in, like, modern emulations, like, no, it was never designed to be crisp. It is designed to blur and meld together into an image. It's like, if you look at fucking, like, Chrono Trigger on a CRT, like, the fucking, like, sprites of the characters that are, like, the full, like, face shots, it just looks like low-res, like, Dragon Ball, because it's Toriyama. It's just, like, they used what they had to their advantage. And I'm not going to say that modern pixel art looks bad. Modern pixel art looks great. But I will say, it's like, I don't really mind. This is going to be, like, my most, like... This is going to be the most controversial take I ever have, I think, where I say, I don't care if people, when emulating, use filters, because no matter how you emulate, it's not going to look like it used to. Like, it just won't.
No. Alright, straight up, anything GameCube or older, I use a filter on. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine.
Although it depends on how the CRT filter is. The one that actually impressed me is because they updated for the Switch 2 the NSO, because I guess they're playing with more power.
Yeah.
So they actually, on Switch 2, the CRT filters are better.
Oh, that's good.
Because it's like, they like, and I'm surprised at how good they, because the Switch 1 NSO CRT filters, I mean, I'm sure you've experimented with them.
Of course.
Are trash. But it's like, the ones on the Switch 2 are actually pretty good. It's like they emulate stuff like how like the white pixels, how they're like overly bright, and how everything kind of blends together with like the white pixels, and like, it's like everything softens up a little more accurately. Like even the pixel grid looks better. It's like, it's kind of crazy. I was kind of impressed. I didn't think they'd actually like update it or that it actually looked good. But now it's like, because I've been going through the Radiance, because that was just added on the GameCube emulator. And I've seen a lot of people say for the GameCube games they prefer it without it, because then they basically get like a remastered game. But it's like I don't know. I think it just looks and feels right with a CRT filter.
Yeah, that's fair. Dude, I was genuinely thinking, like, earlier this week, I was like, I should hook up my Xbox 360 to my CRT. I'm like, I should do this. There's no reason for me to do that. I didn't even use it on a CRT very long back in the day, because we got our TV replaced around the same time.
Yeah. I mean, by the time we got the 360, we gotten rid of all of our CRTs. We had the TV, you've seen it. It's one of those, like,
yes,
the big thing
I
at
love
the time
it.
was
that TV with its weird fucking speaker arrangement, I love it.
And it's like, because it was one of those where it was like, it wasn't necessarily backlit. It still used a bulb, but it was like, it was done in a different way. It looks like garbage now, but it's like back in the day, dude. That shit was like revolutionary.
Dude, I've talked about this before with Natalie, because, she understands my interest and is 100% cool and down with it. I've said it's like, the one thing I want that is, like, quite possibly the dumbest thing ever that is 100% attainable because no one wants them anymore. I want to get one of the rear projection TVs.
No, that's what it is. It's one of the rear projection ones.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It still uses a bulb, rear projection. It was one of the Sony, like, rear projection ones from back in the day.
Huh. To me, like, the ones that I always think in my head are the ones that are, like, super deep, that are essentially CRTs, but flat looking.
No, this was, like, the later line of, like, the rear projection ones, where they started thinning them out.
I see. So you were... Dude... Did your parents, like, own Microsoft? How the fuck did you afford that shit?
No idea.
Because projection TVs were expensive as shit, dude.
Well, because if I remember correctly, because those rear projection Trinitrons were expensive, but I think by the time the really thin ones that we had were coming out, I think they were kind of being relegated to, like, the budget line. At that point, like. Because at that point, like, plasma was hitting the scene and shit like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing, like, the first plasma screens back in the day. Those things look like magical, proper, like, dude. Like, straight up.
Like, proper backlighting, not just rear projection. It was like...
They were glossy as fuck. They looked like the inside of a Best Buy. They were so good. I love them so much, even if they are technically terrible.
I think when I get a big boy job, I think my first fun purchase will be an actually good TV.
Dude, having a good screen makes such a difference.
Oh, for sure.
Like the monitor I'm using now is still 1080p. But, like,
Sam,
I upgraded from one 1080p screen to another when I gave Randy the old screen. And, like, the thing is, it's, like, it's bigger, it's brighter, it has better colors. Like, having a good TV is, like... that is one of those things where you're like, damn, it just, like, it makes such a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. And it's like... Dude, I have some buddies who have, like, the really nice, like, LG TVs, and it's crazy. Like, they get, like, 4K, proper HDR. And, I was worried about it because I'm like, oh, but I'm like, I still primarily game on 10... Because the thing is, right, I've been noticing on my 1080p TV, a lot of the weird cutbacks and, like, visual artifacts on, like, the Switch 2 current-gen games and docked, you don't notice them because... A lot of it just manifest like in games that have like a 1080p mode, a 1440p mode, or like a 4K mode, right?
Yeah.
On a 4K set, the 1080p mode is going to look cleaner, but it's going to be a lot softer because the output res isn't as high. But on a 1080p set, I'm not noticing the downside of like, cause it all just looks the same. Like, so it's like you just go with the one that scales better.
Yeah.
With the 1080p mode, because you get just the same amount of like perceived sharpness, but I'm not getting like the downside of it looking softer because I'm not on a higher res display, so it just looks better to me. And that's my one thing is apparently those higher end LGs actually have like really good scaling of like 1080p content to fit the 4K window. Like apparently it looks like fantastic. But like I don't know, I'm content with a 1080p TV for now.
Yeah, I have had the same 1080p Emerson TV for fucking forever. It's the same thing. Like you and I have played on that shit for well over a decade now, I think.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I am not letting that thing go until I die or it dies, because like the thing about it is like, yeah, it's like it's not the highest quality of TV. Obviously, it's like I'm pretty sure Emerson is literally like a Walmart brand, like the old Walmart brand. But like the thing is like it has no smart TV bloat to it, and that's all I care about. I do not want any of that bullshit. It makes, anytime I have to use my parents' TV, it is such a damn nightmare. Like, I should not have to wait for a TV to boot up. Like, on a CRT, that shit is firing nuclear radiation at multiple panes of glass. And it takes less time. It is physically firing a beam, and it takes less time to boot. And it has a reason to need to warm up, because it is literally warming itself up. It is firing a fucking beam.
Yep, and you gotta wait for the vacuum tubes to also get warmed up.
Exactly.
Dude, that was always so... I miss the experience of a CRT.
That's why I still use them. I love them. I love...
Like,
okay, weird
like
statement that I'm about to make real quick. I love the smell of a CRT when it's on, and it's like the slightly staticky, like, burnt smell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
That was my favorite. It was always like... Or like, the like... crackle of all the electric components.
The crackle when you turn it off and it like You hear everything stop inside. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's almost like it almost sounds like a fizzle almost. Because it's
Exactly.
all these, dude, it was awesome.
It's so good. I love that shit so much.
Yeah, I will be back because I'm going to have to pick my brother up, but I will be back in like 20, 30 minutes if you want to keep yapping.
Alright, sounds good. Like, are you gonna keep me on in, like, the car or whatever? Because that's not exactly
Probably not.
safe.
Yeah, probably not. Normally I
Yeah.
would, but with, how sketchy the roads have been, like to
Yeah.
put my full attention on it. But yeah, so
Put your full
I'll be back.
attention on the road. Do not, pop in
Yeah.
your favorite Nickelback CD and blast that shit like I did on my way home today. I sent that to you, right? I sent the picture.
Yeah.
I got a Blue Oyster Cult and a Nickelback CD, and let me tell you, I let everyone know on my way home that I got a new Nickelback CD. Alright, talk to you later, man. See you
Yep,
soon.
talk to you later. Yep, I will be back.
Oh my god, my keyboard makes so much noise that it registers it as me speaking. That's such a hell yeah moment. Please do not come here. Thank you, my friend, for not coming here. I was really hoping for a toolbox there, but that's fine. Okay, I guess we'll just hop on this then. Let's hope this Nia has, like, the most juiced chase of all time. And I'm probably going to take a break immediately after this match. Because Ryan's not here and it gives me a chance to breathe. That is not what I wanted. Oh well. I didn't realize that they were going for the unhook and that I should have been doing this. Okay. Let's hope they can't see through the fog. Well. They're dead, so I guess I'll leave.